Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Fiona. I am currently in Shanghai, China right now, and I just traveled from San Francisco and landed in Shanghai, China last week. I finally got here. It's really a long trip. Cheers! And this video I'm gonna share some of the experiences how I go back to China during the COVID. The first thing I took care of after I decided to go back to China is the air ticket. So because we are facing the COVID right now, there are only few airlines are allowed to operate flights flying back to China, and you need to keep in mind no matter if you are a foreigner or international student like me, you have limited choices on the flight. And me personally, buy tickets from the United Airlines 2 months in advance before my flight departure from San Francisco to Shanghai. Because I'm not from San Francisco, so I booked flight from my city to Dallas and then Dallas to San Francisco. It's connecting flights, and it's just normally take totally about 8.5 hours to get there. However, I took almost a day to get to San Francisco because it's rained that day in Dallas. And the first flight took us about 6 hours to get there, and we missed the second flight. So we called the United Airlines asking to change the flight, and we changed the flight to the same day evening. However, it's delayed again. We stayed whole night in the Dallas airport, and our flight just finally departed on the second this morning. And because we have booked the hotels and the rental car in San Francisco, we all need to reschedule again. It's really hard for us. So after arriving in San Francisco, I did a bunch of things before departure date. It's mainly about preparing all of the travel documents I need. The first thing is 2 days prior the departure time, all of the passengers need to do the swab, PCR test, and rapid serology test. There are certain labs doing this in San Francisco, and me personally made my appointment with one lab 1 month in advance, and all I need to do is just directly go there and take my test. The test is just normally released on the same day evening. As I said, all of the passengers need their negative result to show they're healthy. And once we got our report of those tests, we need to upload our travel documents, the report, some personal information, etc. to Chinese embassy system on WeChat. Once all of the documents are approved by the Chinese embassy online, I got a green QR code which shows that I am allowed to board that flight. Otherwise, without that code, people are not even allowed to check in their flights. Besides this, there is another QR code, what we call the right code. That one asks you some personal information, the flights information, the recent activities in 14 days when you were in America, and the final destinations after the quarantine, things like that. And after you fill out all of this, you will get the right code. So the green QR code is what you show at the check-in counter and when you board the flight. And the right QR code is what you show to the customs officer when you arrive to China. So my flight is United Airlines 857 from San Francisco to Shanghai. I would say it's a pleasant trip. The stewardess is nice and friendly. The flight is full, but they still serve the hot meals and the snacks. And they ask you to always wear your face mask, so it's pretty safe. After landing in Shanghai, it's a long process which normally at least take 4 to 5 hours to get everything done and finally arrive at the quarantine hotel. And during the process, I show my QR code several times to the officer and fill in the information and do the swab PCR test again in the airport. It's really quick. It's about 5 minutes to get it done. All the passengers need to do is follow the procedures given by the officer. They are very friendly and willing to help, and also I think they're very respectful. They all wear protective clothes in such hot weather in Shanghai and working day and night. I personally feel very warm after arriving my home country. After I got everything done, I was assigned to a quarantine hotel. I just had to sit there and wait for the bus to pick me up to the hotel. It takes me about 2.5 hours of this process because we need to gather people together and take the bus to the hotel as a group. we check in at the hotel, people will do the 14 days quarantine, no excuses. The hotel will provide 3 meals a day, and you can also do food deliver and package deliver, but it can be different because it depends on the hotel. Today is my 4th day of quarantine so far. I've taken 1 swab test on the 3rd day, and I think I have 1 or 2 more to do. After the quarantine, I will reunion with my parents and family, and I think I will just upload some video about my life here in China. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe if you are interested. I will see you guys in the next video.